Marcus Reed had been awake since 4 in the morning, not because of nerves, though there were plenty of those, but because his 7-year-old daughter, Lily, had a fever that broke sometime around 3, and he had spent the night pressing a damp cloth to her forehead and whispering that everything was going to be fine. He believed it when he said it to her. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of small moments to change lives, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness True Stories. Also, tell us in the comments, where in the world are you watching from? He was less sure about it when he said it to himself. By 6, Lily was sleeping peacefully, and Marcus had already ironed his only good shirt, made sure the neighbor Mrs. Alvarez could watch Lily for the morning, and packed his worn leather folder with the documents he had been organizing for 2 weeks. The folder had a small tear at the corner that he had taped shut. He hoped no one would notice. He took the bus downtown because the car needed repairs he could not yet afford, and he arrived at the Vantage Solutions Tower with 12 minutes to spare, which was exactly how he had planned it. The interview was for a mid-level operations manager position, and the panel consisted of 3 people who asked him sharp, careful questions for 40 minutes. Marcus answered honestly. When he did not know something, he said so. When he had made mistakes in previous roles, he described them without flinching and explained what he had learned. He did not perform confidence he did not feel. He did not oversell himself. There was a moment near the end when one of the panelists asked him where he saw himself in 5 years, and Marcus paused for a breath before saying that he saw himself raising a daughter who believed the world was fair and working somewhere that helped him prove that to her. The panel nodded politely. He could read the room. He thanked each person by name, shook their hands firmly, picked up his folder and walked out. He did not take the elevator. He took the stairs because he needed the movement, needed something to do with the feeling sitting heavy in his chest. He pushed through the lobby doors and stepped into the pale morning light and stood on the pavement for a moment, just breathing. Then he straightened his jacket, tucked the folder under his arm, and began walking toward the bus stop with quiet, unhurried dignity. No anger, no performance of despair, just a man accepting an outcome and choosing, in spite of it, to carry himself well. On the 14th floor, Catherine Voss had been watching the lobby through the glass panel beside her office. She was the founder and CEO of Vantage Solutions, a company she had built from a single room and a refusal to quit, and she had a habit of sitting in on the tail end of interviews without the candidates knowing. She watched people in the moments they believed no one was paying attention. Those moments told her everything. She had watched Marcus shake each panelist's hand. She had watched him take the stairs. She had watched him stand on the pavement below and take that single quiet breath before walking forward. And something about it reached into her chest and would not let go. She did not deliberate long. She moved fast, took the elevator down, crossed the lobby and pushed through the front doors. Marcus was half a block away. She called out to him and he turned, surprised, clearly expecting some kind of administrative follow-up. Instead, Catherine Voss walked up to him, looked him directly in the eye, and told him she had changed her mind. She said the panel had concerns about one gap in his technical experience, but that she had just watched him fail gracefully. And in her 15 years of building teams, she had learned that grace under disappointment was rarer and more valuable than any certification. She asked him to come back inside. Marcus stood very still for a moment. Then he nodded and said he would need to call his neighbor to let her know. He would be a little longer, because his daughter was homesick. Catherine Voss smiled at that and said, "Of course, take your time." They walked back into the building together. He started the following Monday. Years later, when people asked Catherine what she looked for in a leader, she always gave the same answer. She said she looked for the person who walks away with their head up, because that person, she said, will always find a way to walk back in. If you enjoyed this story, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel, Kindness True Stories, for more powerful stories about resilience, humanity, and the moments that change lives forever. Your support means the world and helps these stories reach the people who need them most.